We are streaming from Cresta Court Hotel today. This is a test stream, but we shall see. We shall see how we get on. We're streaming at 1080p, 30 frames a second. Hopefully, it's not too choppy. Hopefully, the stream is fine, and hopefully, the audio isn't cutting out. We are testing this while charging and with an external mic with some noise cancellation. So hopefully this is working as intended and the audio isn't clipping. There should be noise cancellation and there should be some processing going on, let's say. So yeah, great turnout today. I'm going to do a little bit of a bit about the Cresta Court Hotel. Hopefully you can hear me all right. Just very quickly tune into the stream myself and see if it's working as intended. Okay. So it's not working there, but is it working on here? Let's have a look. Let's have a look. I guess I'm streaming, but where exactly? Oh, two dogs didn't agree on something. So far, looks good. Can you hear me all right, guys? Genuinely curious. Genuinely curious. Just testing, just speaking stuff. But yeah, go liver. if you could see if you can hear me all right, that would be much appreciated. Lots of support from Passing Perfect. Hear me all right, brilliant. All right, okay, I can see my own stream live. Right, wonderful. That does seem to be working as intended. Okay, yeah, I can hear my own audio. Right, wonderful. Right, that seems to be working as intended. Right, okay, wonderful. So the YouTube stream works, great. The X stream doesn't. So we are gonna definitely work on that for tomorrow. But well, while I'm here, may as well just quickly run through what I did want to say regarding the Cresta. So, you know, Cresta Courts, long story short, Altrincham a lovely area. It's, Cresta Court and the Ashley Hotel as well in Hale. Cresta's a lovely area. Sorry, Altrincham, rather, is a lovely area. Now, two hotels were chosen as a place to house migrants. Now, Ashley Hotel's been housing people from 2023, and from what we understand, has been housing families, women and children, as well as single males. So it's a mix of people. And when that was the case, it wasn't really that big of people weren't really concerned about it too much. But when Cresta opened, obviously they started housing only single male occupants. That was a really big issue for people. Now, the Britannia Ashley Hotel, obviously it's the home office that runs all this here. But Cresta itself kind of began very suddenly in, I think it's October or November 2024. The migrants were bussed in around about 1 a.m., 2 a.m. or something, local time. And the locals didn't really appreciate that the migrants were being bussed in under the cover of darkness. So basically the Cresta closed for what was initially described a 12-month period. So there were some fixtures here, obviously weddings, bookings, all cancelled. Now, by November 2024, basically a month later. It was housing around about 300 single male asylum seekers, mainly from Eritrea, some from Kuwait, some reports rather from Kuwait, and some from Turkey, some Kurds as well from Turkey. Now, almost immediately it became a flashpoint. Obviously, the locals aren't too happy on it, so people started forming protests outside. Obviously, as you can see one today, we've had up to, I think, about 200 people here. Obviously, the locals driving by, lots and lots of support. What's going on? What's this? Right, just somebody double checking. That's all good. Obviously the locals weren't too happy on this and started politely protesting and making their voices heard. And what would usually happen is the locals would protest here and the counter-protesters would protest on the other side of the street where the police currently are stood. Usually stand up to racism lot, etc. And what would happen is there'd usually be a bus that sort of turns up and brings them. It's not usually locals that are protesting this, it's usually people busting from universities and other towns and cities around the area. People who don't actually have to face the problem of illegal migrants head on, and people who live in more affluent areas, more middle class sort of lovies who generally vote green and generally vote for open borders. Now, the issue is with Cresta, it's located right in the middle of multiple all-girls schools and just schools in general. There's a primary school just across the road here, and that's what the main concern really began. That's where the main concern really began from, because there were unconfirmed reports, and I'm just saying they are reports, they are allegations that more police coming over. I wonder why. Well, there's been unconfirmed reports regarding instant counter-protests at Soros. Exactly. You got it. Yeah, just curious why there's more police all of a sudden. It's not that many of us. It's really quite funny. There's usually more police. There's usually about say 24 police, and during the poor periods of poor weather, we actually had less. Sorry, mate. We've actually had more police than locals, and not really quite sure why quite so many of them turn up. But anyway, because it's just locals. It's not really, nothing really happens until, it's just a shift change really. So nothing really happens until the lefties really show up, and then, they kick off a little bit sometimes, they shout mean things, but realistically nothing's really happened. The biggest flashpoint we've had is people putting flags up on lampposts. Anyway. So there's a couple of schools around the area, which is why people are quite concerned. Again, it's young girls and youngsters in general walking around, vulnerable, and there's been reports of the migrants just in the windows ogling, taking videos, taking photos of the passing children and the passing girls. So that's local reports. That's what the locals tell me. So again, I've not seen any videos or photos of this, but that's what I'm being told. Back to the Ashley very briefly, just because it's been announced it's going to be closing down. So the Ashley is going to be closing down, and effectively, I think that's going to take like a year for them to close it down or something. But again, good news. But all they're going to do is they're just going to move all the migrants into the community, which isn't really good news, because that means there's less oversight and they've got more freedom to do whatever the hell they want, which is a serious issue. So anyway. This 15th of April, Conor Rand, the local MP, confirmed that the Home Office would be closing the hotel. And again, they're just going to house them in either RAF bases or most likely in the community, which is an issue, really. What else do they want to say? No, that's basically it, really. The Cresta has just been a blight on the community for the longest time. We don't know how many it houses at the moment. I think it's down from what it was, just because there's less people coming in and out. But again, they do generally close the hotel during the time of the protest, so to speak. Realistically, this is just a test stream. I just want to see how this works for tomorrow. Gulliver, RAF bases. So basically, there's one, for example, that's been in the news recently, RAF Weather Shield. They've effectively so Weather Shield is a small village in the south of England, about 1,200 people, and effectively what they've done is there's a RAF base next to it, which is just, empty, derelict, but, it's an RAF base. So what they've done is they've converted that into barracks, and they've shipped 1,200 migrants in there. Now, obviously, the migrants get bored at the RAF base; they've got nothing to do. So, what do what do the clever authorities do? They start busting them around. They start busting them around into the major metropolitan areas around the area. So, places like Crawley, places, Weathershield itself, and the locals are quite concerned about that because, well, they've got nothing to do. These are young men, young energetic men, fighting age men that realistically should be working back home in their countries of origin, not here. And yeah, why are they here? That's anyway. We could go around in circles for the longest time. So this has just been a test stream, as I say, just a bit of a ramble about the Cresta Court hotel. I'm gonna see if I can get the X stream going and see if that works. Because that's basically my main sort of platform. So yeah, this was a good test so far. Thank you for coming in and thank you for commenting all of it. It's really appreciated. It means everything is working as it should be. I'll review this and lessons, I'll just see what can be improved for next time. But as I say, I'm wearing, this is charging at the moment through the external mic. And in fact, I just want to see what happens if I do disconnect the external mic. What happens? If I disconnect it, will it just go? External mic is disconnected. Right, okay, so it's moved on straight onto the phone mic. Okay, very good. Right, so this still works. Right, okay. Just checking how this would work. So the phone mic has now taken over, and it just carries on. Wonderful. Right, so just something to check for tomorrow. This is now the phone mic. So it doesn't have a wind muff. It'll probably be worse audio. So yeah, this is the phone mic, no charging, nothing else different, but can still hear you good. Thank you. Listen, mate, you're absolutely amazing help. Yeah, absolutely amazing help. Because I was going to go and test this in post. Check this not in post, but post-event, basically. I'll still check it myself tonight, but I'm pretty happy with the sound quality so far. So yeah, we'll be doing a stream tomorrow for the St. George's Day. But my main task is to get the X stream working, because that's generally where the biggest audience is going to be. Right, thank you very much. I'm going to end this stream. Cheers, Gulliver. And yeah, you have a good evening, my friend. And well, maybe see you tomorrow or hear from you tomorrow. Cheerio. Appreciate it.